We're going to head back to the voicemail of Truth and Reason. Like a little bit last show, somebody was questioning Kevin Stefanski and his offense. This is in response to that.
Hello. I think this Kevin Stefanski slander is just, like, ridiculous. People don't look at the fact that he was calling plays last year for a broken quarterback that, mind you, was better than our backup. That's nothing against Case Keenum, but do we really think that our offense would have been any more successful with Case throwing 5-yard checkdowns all game? I mean, defenses would have done the same thing that they did to Baker. And that's what it was, is that defenses didn't fear Baker's decision-making. So they would stack the box, and then they'd dare him to throw it. And he couldn't beat them. And also, our run game was injured a good portion of the year. And then one more thing real quick. Mr. Mayfield called yesterday, and he referenced the 2017 Oklahoma Sooners offense. And I think that actually further solidifies the case that Baker wasn't meant to be our guy. That offense is completely different than anything Kevin Stefanski has in his mind. And I mean, just look at the 3 quarterbacks we signed this year. We signed Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett, and Josh Dobbs. Those guys are pretty much the same quarterback at 3 different levels of ability. They're all big armed, and they're mobile guys that are smart with the football.
Yeah, and I agree with most of what the caller said again, and again, for whatever reason, Baker Mayfield didn't get it done in the offense consistently enough for the Browns.
Yeah, and just the general frustration. Look, you're going to be frustrated. This was a team that won a playoff game the year before. The arrow was pointing so high, and we all believed or wanted to believe that that was just the beginning. That it wasn't that what happened last year wasn't going to happen, wasn't a possibility. That's going to lead to some frustration, and there's going to be a lot of fingers pointed. Some of those are going to get pointed at Kevin Stefanski. I will say I think Kevin Stefanski could have done a better job of accommodating his offense and what he wants to what Baker Mayfield was really good at. Now, would Baker have made that work? I don't know, but I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of that. It was clear that it wasn't a good fit, and to the voicemail point there, if you go back and watch him when he was at Oklahoma, that's not at all what Kevin Stefanski wants from his quarterback. So that sort of makes it easier to understand why they're getting rid of him and why they're moving on and made the difficult decision that they did. But yeah, the hate that's on Stefanski, I will say they abandoned the run faster than they should have a lot, even with the injuries. Like Dearness Johnson, we've talked about it. Best number 3 running back in football. You've got assets like that. You should probably lean on those a little bit more. I think that also would have helped the offensive line when they were struggling a little bit. Just let them get their feet under it and ground and pound a little bit. I think Stefanski got away from his own core principles there, and I think he will learn from that. Let me say, I hope he learns from it because we're all going to be better for it if that does happen.